Alright, hello everyone, and now welcome to a game. This game gonna be between Infi and Moon, taking place here on Echo Isles. For those of you guys who are wondering, this game is from the WarCraft Gold League May Pro Qualifier, as Moon is spawning on the top left-hand side of Echo Isles. Meanwhile, over here on the top right, we have Infi spawning as the Red Undead. Two sides fought to their last building. Ooh, that does sound like a good game. But now, I don't want to know this information before I cast a game. That I do have someone who gives me replays and he screens them for me. Metaphysics, thank you again, without actually spoiling the game for me. As a caster or as any sort of commentator, if I know the outcome or the direction of the game, I feel like it could actually pull my commentary a specific way, and it can also, well, not have me. What happened? Ooh. Okay, my youngest daughter is actually right behind me. She is 6 months old now. 5 months? 5 months old now. 5 months old right now, so if you hear some cooing in the background, well, now you know why. So let's go ahead and break things down. Tomb of Relics, Altar of Darkness, Death Knight is coming across right there. There's the ghouls. Tomb of Relics being placed down there. Meanwhile, we're looking at a Keeper of the Grove coming in from Moon. R.I.P. No rest in peace needed. No, I don't know what that was. All right. Ancient of War gonna go ahead and uproot. Keeper of the Grove will be making his way down here in just a moment. 152, 153 gonna be positioning here in just a second. As we can see, well, Kobold gonna deal some damage right there, and the Ancient of War actually still rooted, fighting back, and gonna go ahead and try and engage here. All right, gonna move all of those units away, perhaps try and pick up a couple of mercenaries. Keeper of the Grove is now already out, and's gonna go ahead and engage. And that's actually an interesting strategy, getting the Renegade Wizard to run all the way around, and all of these units to run all the way around to actually free up some damage from that Ancient of War, while dealing a little bit of damage too. By rooting that Ancient of War, the Kobold and all of the units decide to chase the Archer, so the Ancient of War are able to get in a couple of easy hits, allowing the Keeper of the Grove to, well, and allowing the Keeper of the Grove more time as well to get into position. Back down to the south here, Death Knight throws down a Ziggurat, Acolyte throws down a Ziggurat after the Death Knight places some Blight down here using that Sacrificial Skull. Ogre Magi gonna get finished off, and we could be looking at a possible expansion attempt. Wow, it's another Sacrificial Skull. Also purchased. So Scroll of Town Portal sold. Keeper of the Grove now coming in. The Altar of Darkness is still in fact there. Keeper of the Grove could try to get a big entangle off onto some of those ghouls, but as you know, the Death Knight with that unholy aura often able to keep those units alive, and well, you don't want to be trading damage like that just to keep your Keeper of the Grove nearby. Alright, Ziggurat gonna be upgraded quickly to a Nerubian Tower here in just a moment. Skeletal minions are still keeping track of that Keeper of the Grove, and the Archer perhaps trying to see if there's any units that can get caught in transit. However, an Archer could get caught in transit. There's a Dust of Appearance, and there's the death of a Death Knight. Death Knight now sitting at level 2 Unholy Aura. Now, well, teched as the Keeper of the Grove is gonna be making its way back across. Right, maybe I should I switch the observers? I don't know if I can actually do that, because the positioning on the overlay is a little bit wrong, as the Keeper of the Grove now going to be rotating back off to the north. Meanwhile, we are looking at an Ancient Protector by Moon being built inside the base here, trying to do it just outside of sight range, as that Wisp ends up getting taken down. Alright, eagle-eyed play from Infi to catch that there was a possible tower attempt inside the base, as we're now going into a second Ancient of War, training up Huntresses also in the middle of the map. Wisp are also making their way back out, and what is Moon doing? Is Moon actually going to attempt a possible tower attempt here once again? Wisp are all hiding here, but does the Ghoul spot them? That is the question. Alright, in comes damage down across here. Haunted Goldmine entangle onto the Acolyte. The Acolyte is going to get taken down here. Down it goes, no problem, and the Haunted Goldmine is starting to fall as well. Keeper of the Grove taking a little bit of damage. Acolyte, is this one going to fall? Yes, it will. Death Knight well, forcing that Scroll of Town portal from that Keeper of the Grove, as the haunted gold mine is going to be alive and well. Meanwhile, an army of wisps outside the base of undead. We are still looking at, well, it's not quite midnight yet in the game, as the Death Knight now looks to clear up the Mercenary Creep camp here. Keeping an eagle-eyed scout on everything. 37 supply compared to 38. But remember, there are more acolytes still being trained up, or I believe they're still being trained up to try and haunt this gold mine down to the south. All right, wisps are making a little bit of a move. Where are they perhaps going to try and go? Got to keep track of those, well, pesky, tricky little wisps, as an acolyte could end up getting entangled and, well, shut down again. Huntresses do not want to face the wrong end of a Forest Troll Berserker's axe, as the wisps are just hiding out in the middle portion of the map, and more Huntresses are, well, traversing the field still. Looks like Moon missed a single Moonwell. Currently supply blocked at 40/40 supply. Needs to get in a little bit more, as the Keeper of the Grove gonna go back and pick up that Manual of Health, as good units should do. Ancient Protector already getting trained up. Meanwhile, back across over here, Death Coil trying to finish off a Wisp. No level 3 on that Death Knight already. Are we perhaps going to see a detonation, as the units are going to make their way back around? Another Ancient Protector going to call away all of those ghouls again, and the Ancient Protector just going to get canceled once more. Are we going to see a possible detonation? Yes, there's one detonation. There's another detonation, removing some of that precious mana, as a Force Troll Shadow Priest is running for the hills, but will not get there. Death Knight now looking to back away, entangle onto a ghoul. Are we going to see a Death Coil to save that ghoul? Yes, we are. And the Keeper of the Grove decides not to stick around. A 200 hit point heal, more than enough to keep that ghoul alive. That ghoul apparently didn't get the memo that it took a Death Coil to try and save it, and may try and, well, make a little bit of a play, as the ghouls are now diving back once again. Keeper of the Grove going after some key buildings. Low hit point ghouls are still trying to make their way back around. Huntresses are able to get in a fair amount of damage here, as the Death Knight still has 75 mana, or more than 75 mana, for a follow-up Death Coil. Huntress is going to try and engage those Huntresses. Fighting in tight corridors like this, actually very useful. Their attack, even though it has a short range, it still accounts for something. If you're able to finish off a unit or two, that is a big deal indeed. Keeper of the Grove trying to get higher up in level. More Wisp coming in for detonation, as a ghoul is going to go ahead and end up staying alive. The detonation not hitting that Death Knight, or not removing enough mana. Teching the tier 2 finally after all this time. Infi having a little bit of trouble, as the Keeper of the Grove using this mass hunt strategy. Are we going to see an entangle? No, we are not. Entangle onto the Death Knight. Death Knight now completely surrounded. Death Knight leading the charge, not realizing where the rest of the army was, and that was the problem right there. And we are going to see that Death Knight end up falling. Keeper of the Grove gets up to level 3. Level 2 entangle here, ready to go. Low hit point Huntress going to try and perhaps back off, return back home, and it gets a free walk back home now. Death Knight going to get resurrected back over here at the center tavern. The game cannot go that long, as we're looking at the Huntresses making their way down. All right, there is a Spirit Tower and a Nerubian Tower down across over here. Acolyte's going to try and, well, reposition themselves as best as they can. The Spirit Tower does deal a large amount of damage, and Infi is focus firing with that Spirit Tower right now, as the Acolytes are desperately trying to keep this Spirit Tower alive and well. All right, it looks like all of these Huntresses could end up getting taken down. Infi has an army of ghouls. The Spirit Tower is now down. What is the Death Knight hoping to do at this point in stage? Army 49 supply compared to 48. Army sizes are about even, but the sheer number of ghouls could potentially be the problem, as more units can still be trained up. 48 to 49. Death Knight now making its way back over. We see Ritual Dagger as well, so you can perhaps try and sacrifice a unit to heal up those remaining units too. All right. Nerubian Tower continuing to slow things down a little bit. Death Knight could be in trouble. Infi is in trouble, loses his Death Knight for the second time in this match, as the Crypt Fiends are finally out onto the field. Force Troll Shadow Priest taking a little bit of damage. Moon trying to pick up an Ogre Mauler to soak up a lot of damage here as well. I believe there was a Ritual Dagger was in fact used, as we're looking at some of these units now all making their way back again. All right, low hit point ghouls. You can see all of that bounce damage. Death Knight needs to come back over, use another Ritual Dagger to try and heal up those remaining ghouls, as the ghouls have taken, well, far too much damage. One Nerubian Tower right there. Staff of Teleportation coming across inside. side. Nerubian Tower, Keeper of the Grove is now going to make its way in. Scroll of Healing used to quickly heal back up all of these units here as the Mud Golem and the Forest Troll Shadow Priest trying to back away. All right, Nerubian Tower about to get taken down. There it goes. Huntresses now focus onto the ghouls as the ghouls are trying to dive on in after the Mud Golem and that Forest Troll Shadow Priest. Another Scroll of Healing by the Death Knight to keep all the units alive, and the Death Knight has a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability as well, which will need to be used. Huntress is still fighting away. You can see Ritual Dagger being used across multiple ghouls, and the ghoul army also healing up well. 2 charges of Ritual Dagger being used in this game. And I think that's the first time I've actually seen it effectively used. Infi doing a great job just making all of these strategies and these items work rather well. All right, Huntress is now going after some of the other home field advantage. In comes Ents coming in from the other side. We are going to see Murlocs joining in on the fight, but they're going after the Night Elf instead of the Undead Army, which is, well, trying to back away from those units too. As the units continue to back up, Keeper of the Grove, he is now surrounded, and well, one good surround deserves another as the Death Knight gets up to level 4. So far, a couple of easy entangles causing problems. Huntresses need to back away. Death Knight with no mana for a Death Coil as all the units are retreating back. Beautifully played game by both sides. Keeper of the Grove now being forced to resurrect at the tavern. I don't see an alchemist. We are still at Tree of Life. This is mass tier 1 dual Ancients of War, mass tier 1 coming in from Moon. This is not a strategy you see very often, and I don't know how Moon did it, but Moon was able to ensure that these Forest Troll Berserkers did not try and target the low hit point Huntresses. Keeper of the Grove gets up to level 5, uses that Scroll of Healing. It feels like he needs another one. So many low hit point units all right there. All right, Moonwells are rather full right now. You want to drink from those Moonwells if you can, and that's what exactly that Keeper of the Grove is going to do. He's going to drink from these full Moonwells so that they can continue to fill up while the Huntresses are getting into position for perhaps another follow-up attack. All right, in you go. Full Moonwells all drained out. In comes the Keeper of the Grove. In comes some Ents to join in on the fight. 4 Ents already there. Illusions are already all out here, as well as the many of the ghouls without range attacks, and an Ent actually blocking some of the pathing, having a difficult time here. Double Forest Troll Shadow Priest. All of this is off of a single, one tier, as now in comes the Pit Lord. Pit Lord is going to try and run on through, perhaps get in a good Howl of Terror, greatly reducing the amount of damage. We might see some more detonations as well as the units are trying to fight every which way. Pit Lord in that front line spot. Death Knight nearby still has another Ritual Dagger to use just in case. The Pit Lord healed back up. There's another Howl of Terror used, greatly reducing the amount of damage that this army does. As you can see that the Pit Lord is still trying to stay alive in that frontline spot. Death Knight, does it have enough mana? No, it does not. Pit Lord trying to race to the very back as the Death Knight calls for a regrouping of his army. There you go. Are we going to see a Ritual Dagger used? Yes, it is, to try and heal up all of those units, but the Pit Lord already lost that healing buff. Trying to fight their way again. Low hit point Ogre Mauler taken out by the Night Elf army. Moon saying, you know what, I don't want you to give any free experience to my opponent. Double Rod of Necromancy on the Death Knight. Pit Lord, Howl of Terror needs to get in a little bit more mana, and I believe once we see a Slaughterhouse, things can change. Speaking of the Slaughterhouse, there it is. Obsidian statues are absolutely necessary in this battle, as a couple of Ents could end up getting taken down. Huntress is going to try to dive on in here again. Slaughterhouse, well, it looks like Moon knows that that Slaughterhouse is incredibly important, but with the Nerubian Tower there, that's going to force some sort of engagement again. Pit Lord in that position, front line, a lot of Howl of Terror, greatly reducing the amount of damage being done by all of the Huntresses and the heroes, but a Scroll of Protection being flipped around as well. Death Knight and Infi using that additional gold pretty well, as all of the units are going to reposition again. Pit Lord, still not enough mana for a Howl of Terror, as the Slaughterhouse and Obsidian statues are not yet ready. More Ents ready to join in on the fight. One Nerubian tower right there slowing things down as the Pit Lord is still dancing around off to the north. Ogre Maulers Huntress able to get in so much damage. An army of mass ghouls finishing things off. This is a mass tier 1 battle. 53 supply compared to 54. And, well, army sizes are about the same. So many ghouls, so much damage could get focused down. Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 5 could easily get to level 6. Once he gets to level 6, and now you get Entangle, well, the pressure will feel like unending, unceasing, as the Huntress army can heal back all of that damage oh so quickly. Pit Lord still trying to slice its way through. Keeper of the Grove about, what, 119 experience shy from level 6, getting here ready to go as the Ents are now looking to back up once more. Huntress is going to get into position. Oh, well, come on, low hit point skeletal minion, just one more shot. No, decides against it as gargoyles are now joining in on the fight. One obsidian statue in the back. Is this the momentum that Infi needs to be able to push back this attack? Huntress is trying to trace them down. Ghoul is trying to back up again. Obsidian statue hiding purposely in the back there. Death Coil onto the Pit Lord as the Obsidian statue is providing only essence of blight, not essence of mana. Too much micro to try and get that little trick to work. All right. Ghoul still swarming in the back here. Gargoyle trying to back up again. Pit Lord sitting at level 1, trying to make its way, get to level 2. Once it gets cleaved, all of a sudden, the damage output on that Pit Lord seems to grow and grow. Solo Keeper of the Grove finally gets up to level 6. Tranquility was used. It is on cooldown already. And still ticking away once more as a Gargoyle going to get taken down there. All right, being able to focus down those units. Obsidian statues, 2 Obsidian statues going up against now a Keeper of the Grove with Tranquility. And as long as that Keeper of the Grove has mana, you know that he's going to be continually casting all of that Tranquility all game long to keep those units alive and well. 54 supply compared to 60. Infi has a supply advantage, hero advantage. Who does it belong to? And definitely Keeper of the Grove. And there is another use of Tranquility again, and just making it impossible to finish off any of these units as the Huntresses are able to stay nearby and continue that pressure and push. Keeper of the Grove leading the charge right there, healing up all of the units again, trying to focus down any of this. The Keeper of the Grove is just saying, you know what, I'm going to stick around again. What are you going to do about it? As Gargoyle is getting taken out pretty easily still. Huntress finally, well, we may actually see some death of Huntresses. Finally, the Huntresses getting surrounded by some of their own friendly units. They're looking to back away, and it looks like they may be able to do exactly that as the ghouls cannot go chasing. Units now looking to back up once more. Keeper of the Grove, that Tranquility cooldown, already down to 18 seconds again, and well, with a 1 minute cooldown on an ultimate ability that pretty much keeps your army alive and well. That just seems to be so powerful and strong. All right, Pit Lord has gone to level 2, has cleave, and now constantly going to be attacking there, trying to constantly swipe. There's another Tranquility being used, and the Keeper of the Grove able to heal much of this army constantly as the undead army needs to try and focus down everything into a single unit. Keeper of the Grove could be in a little bit of trouble, is going to be able to back around as you can take a look. 4-stroll Berserker taking a lot more damage than they would like as well. Keeper of the Grove continuing the fight. Entangle onto the Pit Lord. Is that actually going to be a good use of mana? Pit Lord now gets the Death Coil, healed back up, a 600 hit point heal. Not enough mana for a, well, impressive Howl of Terror, but the Pit Lord able to squeeze on through as the Death Knight, I believe, purchased a potion of mana for a follow-up Death Coil there. Beautifully done once more as the units are now looking to back away again. It looks like Infi has found his feet underneath him and should be able to hold this back. The Keeper of the Grove no longer has that much mana. Death Knight should have enough mana for a follow-up Death Coil. There it goes. And trying to take down a Pit Lord when there is a level 5 Death Knight nearby, near impossible. And that well, strategy seems to be coming to an end. Huntresses, oh wow, escapes, nope, does not escape. Long distance Death Coil finishing it off. Undead has no interrupts. It does have an interrupt. It's called Impale, but we are at Halls of the Dead, and we have a Pit Lord over a Crypt Lord. All right. Pit Lord now making its way inside here. Going to be going after all of these units again. Pit Lord dealing a good amount of damage. Obsidian statues off to the side here. And while Death Knight should not be trying to stay nearby at all, it would actually take away Pit Lord from getting up to level 3. Gargantuan Sea Turtle, that final unit to try and take down. Alright, let's see what's going to happen here. Death Knight just trying to be close enough to perhaps get some Essence of Mana buff, as we're now looking at the, well, Keeper of the Grove Night Elf army once again trying to rinse and repeat. Main base mining, only 3 minutes and 3 minutes left there. Death Knight is already here, ready to try and offer some protection. Mass Gargoyle army in the air. It looks like, yes, more tranquility being brought over as Moon transitions into archers as well. Pit Lord gets a Death Coil. Pit Lord also with a potion or a pendant of mana. Perhaps should have been given to the Death Knight, as the Death Knight is the one that seems to need more mana. But then again, the Pit Lord and that Howl of Terror could constantly just shift how much damage is being done. We are looking at level 2 cleave over level 2 Howl of Terror, though, as Scroll of Protection being used by the Keeper of the Grove. 30 seconds left on that Tranquility. Meanwhile, Pit Lord continuing to stay in that front line spot, trying to keep everything alive. Huntresses, while archers, that -5 attack, 25% damage debuff. Gargoyles, Scroll of Healing being used by the Knight or Undead army, still staying alive. There's another Death Coil after a potion of mana. Obsidian statues bringing up the rear again. Dust of Appearance. Moon's army is trying to run away, and Infi looks like this could go very poorly for him in just a moment. As unit after unit is starting to fall. I believe that may be too much, and Infi, well, even though he's going up against Moon with Tranquility, doesn't seem to have that many problems at all, trying to focus down a single unit at a time, but, well, they are getting healed up rather quickly. Keeper of the Grove, well, is it no longer invulnerable? Damage is still getting added in. Keeper of the Grove now looking to try and back up, as, well, Infi is sitting at 37 supply compared to 29. Couple of easy ends to take down. Level 5, almost level 6 on the Death Knight. Level 4 on the Pit Lord, who now has level 2 Howl of Terror, greatly reducing the amount of damage again down to -7. And that is going to be it. Forest Troll, Berserkers, all of those units getting finished off. And Infi finishing off Moon here in the May qualifier, or taking a game here in the May qualifier, doing a great job and just being able to hold on for dear life. You can take a look. Gold lost to upkeep. Moon actually had the larger army much more often, especially since Infi had that expansion. So Moon with the larger army continuing to push Infi, however, just trying to do the next right thing, trying to get the Pit Lord being able to use Howl of Terror, slow down the amount of damage on the army, getting to the Obsidian statues. And I think the Obsidian statues was really that turning point. That Slaughterhouse being able to heal all of those ghouls, that basically negating the glaive bounce damage of those Huntresses. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.